A couple of nights ago, I asked you guys if you guys were to share a beer with me, what sort of questions you would ask me. So for this sponsor segment, I'm going to be drinking this Ballast. I've now been drinking this for a couple of weeks now. Not this specific one, but something from by Ballast. This beer is called Fathom. As you'll see here, it's super cold. Okay, I didn't think Texas would get this cold, but it's close to 46 degrees out right now, and luckily I have a sweater on. But these are the sort of questions you guys asked me. First question comes from Asian Gamer Today. He asks, would you ever start a fishing channel? Originally, I wanted to. I wanted to start a fishing channel when I came down here, but I figured that instead of doing that, I would just concentrate on this one and just use fishing as an aggregate to the overall point of the channel. You know, my vlog is pretty much a representation of what my life is, and fishing is a big part of that. So I'm just gonna add fishing to this, as you're seeing right now. Moist Fruit, okay, asks, will Optic be coming back to Australia? I've got a 2017 COD Champs jersey I need signed. Yes. The second that we get a chance, the second that we get some sort of invitation, you better believe we're gonna go down there. But everything has to be right, okay? The last event that we had there was super amazing. So, yeah, I totally go back there. Nakid, also known as Nakizi, he's Mindfreak's owner. He asks, how did you go about selling Optic to stake shareholders? How does it provide security for you, your brand, and in parentheses it says retaining control of decisions. When you're making the decision of taking on investment, you have to dig deep down inside of you and say, do I want to go down this route? Because at this point, I felt that Optic was at a good point in time to be able to do that, because we have a very well-established brand, an attractive brand, and more importantly, a fan base that is just priceless, right? So you have to take that into account. Have you done something that nobody else has done? Have you, I don't know, how did I go about it? Just putting presentations, throwing some feelers out. We got a lot of interest, people coming after us, so it was a little bit easier for us. But Nakizi, if I was to give you some advice, work on your brand, work on your brand, work on your brand, and then work on your brand some more, and somebody will find you attractive. Grandpa Joe, X-Ray legend, super legend, good guy. He asked me, how did you meet your wife? I was a really good friend of Leo, her brother, for a long time, and I met Jude when she was like 14. I was like 16, and you know, nothing really sparked any interest. She was a cute girl, obviously, but she was 14. I was like 16. I was into 16. When I was 16, I was into 16-year-olds, not 14-year-olds. So, and even though she didn't look like a 14-year-old, I still knew her age, so I stayed away. I did ask her brother for permission, though. I shouldn't have, though. X does not ask for permission. He takes as he wants. The good thing about being in cold weather is that you're always going to have a cold beer. Ooh, that's one. I'm not a beer drinker per se until a couple of months ago when I started drinking IPAs, and this one has the right amount of depth. If you guys listen, I've been reading up a little bit about beer because Hutch is a huge IPA guy, so I've been discussing with him just like random stuff about beer, and it's not hoppy at all, which is amazing. Sorry for swearing. Okay, what's the biggest professional mistake you've made so far, and are you over it? No, never, ever get over your mistakes. In terms of always remember it. Don't let it beat yourself up, and I guess that's what you mean. Like, do I beat myself up over it? Yes, in a sense, but am I over it? No, I'll never ever get over it because I want it fresh in my mind so I can never ever repeat the mistake. Now, what was that mistake? Not saying no more often, okay? If you know that there's a mistake, nice spot. Nice, Rob. Oh man, that's a tank, Rob. All right, cheers, bud. Cheers to you. And cheers to you guys. But anyways, cheers, Rob. Congrats on having an amazing fishing day.
It sucks.
Cheers, bud.
At least the beer's good.
Just say it's not saying no enough, okay? You as a leader and as a business owner, manager, whatever, if you're in a position of authority, you often want to let your employees or your peers or the people that work under you, you always want to let them make their own mistakes So you often say, yeah, do this, or yeah, do that, or yeah, do that, because you want them to learn from those mistakes. Even though you know deep down inside it's not gonna work, you do that. And I wish I didn't do that as often as I did. But I keep it fresh in my mind, so I won't do it again. And I'm gonna say no in 2018 more than I said it in my entire life. I'm not gonna waste anyone's time, okay? Stuart McAllister says, what's been the biggest risk you had to take and what made you certain it would work?
Well, I already know this. I know this answer.
Which one is it? What do you think?
What do you want mortgage means?
Yeah. When I decided to do gaming full time, and that's the biggest risk I ever took, 100%. Especially because Jude was 7 months pregnant. You guys know the story. What made me certain that it was gonna work is it's a lot easier to control how hard you work. And I knew, I didn't doubt that I was gonna work my ass off to make something happen. Okay, I knew that there was gonna be no chance in hell that I was gonna fail at something that I had a passion for. And Call of Duty at the time, in competitive gaming or content creation on video games, was definitely something that I was not going to allow myself to ever lose. Okay, Shady Bacon says, what advice would you give to a collegiate esports team manager, coordinator, community building, management, expansion, sponsorships, etc.? This is what I'll tell you, and this is true for anybody out there, okay? You do not need help. You do not need anyone. You can do it on your own, okay? If you're a college student and you don't have the ends to make it work, because you can't afford 8 Xboxes or 8 PlayStations, 8 monitors to throw a LAN, you don't need it, okay? You can coordinate with a LAN center around your area. You can coordinate with your school. You can pitch to your school. They will do it. You know, esports is growing so fast and it's such a hot topic that people are gonna go after it. Yeah, so any of that, look, it's all up to you. Again, it's always gonna be, you gotta hold yourself accountable and responsible for your own self-success, okay? If you hear no, so what? Move on to the next no, and move on to the next no, and move on to the next no. Until you get a yes, don't stop hearing the no's. Embrace the no's, okay? Embrace them, because they are yours. They are yours, and you can utilize them as fuel to fuel your possibilities, man. Take those no's and own them, because they are yours. They are your power, your fuel. Cap, Josue with J, how did you keep such young players so humble and keep them working together? I've always been a big brother. I'm the oldest of my family. Below me is my sister, who's a year younger than my brother, who's 10 years younger than my sister, who's 14 years younger than me. I've always been a big brother, so I've never had an issue or a problem telling someone younger than me that they are wrong, okay? I've never had, I don't care. And luckily, I was lucky enough to work with people like Nate Shot, who had fame like really young at a really young age, and Seth and everybody else that came on my team, because I was able to keep them grounded enough to where they appreciated everything that's there, and they appreciated everything that was. They appreciated it for what it was worth. All right, Justin C. Taylor asks, what's the best way to get noticed if you want to be a writer that covers esports? Write it, tweet it at people, the easiest way to get exposure, let's say if I was a writer, okay, I would write an article on, let's say you're in Call of Duty, I would write an article on Scumps, okay? And I wouldn't stop until he gave me the interviews. In fact, just write the article even if he doesn't give you an interview, and then write the article and then tweet it at him and be like, hey man, I wrote some really nice things about you. I criticized you a little bit, but this is for the most part a very positive review on your career. And more often than none, okay, as humans, we are gonna want to hear what people have to say about us, okay? Because people will say, I don't care what people say. That's bull. Everybody cares one little bit, and they will pay attention. And if he likes it, he's gonna tweet it out. People are gonna read your literature, they're gonna say, oh, this is a good writer, you're gonna get a follow. And then you rinse and repeat. You go down the line, the most popular ones to the lowest popular ones. Do a popular, a medium, and a low, okay? Just diversify yourself, and don't just do one esport if you're an esports writer. Diversify yourself. So you don't need anyone. Do it yourself. You don't need, I'm telling you, you got this. Christopher Hicken, yo, back in the day, how did you put up with Seth's ego and arrogance? Also, the best Call of Duty 2 map out of Brecourt? Definitely not Brecourt. Brecourt is by far the worst Call of Duty map. Call of Duty 2 map ever. And how did I keep up? Seth's ego and arrogance isn't true ego or arrogance. He's one of the most humble dudes that I know, and the reason that he acts the way he acts is because he makes people laugh when he says that. And there's nothing more addicting than being able to make people smile. And that is why you guys may think that when he talks to Damon, or when he's roasting everybody, where he calls me an old man, that you may think that he means it, or he's literally just saying it to get a laugh out of someone, which is super cool in my opinion. I think that's mine too. I think that's one of mine. I think he learned that trick from me, if anything. Brendan Valentine, how do you view yourself? As someone who's helped pioneer so much and be an example for many, how do you see yourself? I see myself as a father to Olivia first, a husband to Judith second, a family guy because I love my family and family is number one. I see myself as a fisherman, I see myself as an artist, and I see myself as someone who loves his job, that its passion helped propel a team and a group of individuals to something a little bit better than the situation that they're once in. And as far as me being an example for many, that's cool, but I didn't set out to be inspirational. I think that people that set out to be inspirational and that literally just sit there and say, how can I inspire people? How can I inspire people? You're wasting time in thinking how you can inspire. You know how you inspire people? By doing, okay? You do, and you keep doing, you do a little bit more, and if you happen to make somebody admire you, happen to inspire somebody because of your work ethic, then awesome. But if you set out to inspire, more than likely you're not going to. You need to inspire yourself before you can even accomplish anything to inspire somebody, because just tweeting random inspirational quotes like, you're closer than you think, and I've tweeted this before, I have. I just think that actions speak louder than words, and as cliche as that is, and as often as that's been said, it's the truest thing that's ever been. Don't set out to be inspirational. Don't think to yourself, I wish I was inspirational, okay? Focus on yourself, and then people are gonna notice and more than likely and hopefully be inspired by you, and that is something cool. All right, I'm gonna do these next super quick ones because I've gone on long enough. Pokemon Master Braska, are you still friends with anyone from your childhood? Not from my childhood, but from high school, I still have the same friends. I have friends that I went to junior high with, so I've been friends with them for like 20 years, and it's the same group of guys, 14 to 15 people, and then like the scragglers, 6 or 7. So I have like 22 people that I've known for 22 years that are ride or die for me. So yes, I do still hang out with them. Luke, what is the most memorable moment you've had during the time the Green Wall has been active? It was at World Champs. I was sitting in the owner's box, and then I just saw the crowd just chanting Optic, and I saw the manifestation of the Green Wall in front of me, and nothing had made me smile like that in a long, long time. It was a real proud moment of mine. Ollie, what beer are you having? I'm having a Fathom IPA by Ballast Point Brewery. I highly recommend it, and I mean it. Go have a beer and then tell me I was wrong. Tell me I was wrong. Last question from Josh at No Clue. What's better to have on a cold day, pozole or menudo? Don't ever say pozole to me, okay? Menudo is always the answer. Pozole is for people who hate spicy food. Pozole is for non-Mexicans. Menudo is for true Mexicans. Let's get fishing because I haven't caught.
Good fish. There you go, Hector. You stoked?
I got it.
Let me go.
No,
you want
please.
Yes!
What a cast, huh?
Dude, I saw him just go bam.
Cheers.
Finally, no skunk there. Does he got the ballast?
No, it doesn't. It's not as fat. But I got one. I was so afraid that I was gonna get skunked. I didn't. See you later, bud. Yes!
Does it feel good to flip and just hammer him?
Let's catch more.